Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic, People's Proletarian, Petroleum, Prefecture 233. Still with a bit of food issues, but it is what it is, and we're in dear need of this distribution office getting finished so that we can get food down to the harbor here. Pretty soon there will be ships abound, and they expect to be able to load food, which they won't for the moment because these are empty. There they are. Why do you have crops in you? You shouldn't have any crops here. Oh. But this, to do this, they actually have all the resources on site. I think I will ask you to notify me when you're done. Yes, then we can immediately start bringing stuff. And it is the 22nd of February. That means the snow ought to be melting here. Yes, it's melting. Very good. And yes, what I was waiting for the snow to melt was to put all this into action. All this stuff. You see the farming island. It's completed. It's just a bit of distribution and logistics to do. And first and foremost, we need to get fuel into the gas station. Is this really something to be focusing on when people are starving? Yeah, this is for the future, not to starve. Future generations not to starve. We can't do a whole lot about the current situation. Let's just make sure that we limit the starvation to the newest town of Svennemannen, since yes, it is what it is. See previous episode. Okay, this distribution office. Oil fuel unloading. There you load fuel and you unload that at the gas station. And I sincerely hope now that one of the trucks will have enough fuel in and of itself to make this trip one time, and it ought to. This is just across the road, and if it has that, then we're all good regarding the fuel situation here on the island. And it would appear so. 225 liters must be enough to take you across the road. Of course, now the music machine is screwing with me. That's never happened before, almost. Force quit, goddamn you. Yes, thank you. Citizens' happiness, too low. You're not telling me. In People's Proletarian, in People's Palace Flats in Svennemannen. I don't even dare look at this place, really. I don't want to. No, it's just awful. But this town was a failure in many ways, because look at the police situation here is completely lost it. It's completely behind on everything. The hospital, we don't have enough ambulances. Do you have food? Where did you get that? I don't know, but you don't have any meat. No. Well, that's okay. You'll have to be without meat. They'll survive, but not be happy about it, but at least for a while. The music machine has screwed up badly this time. Yeah, but I'm getting to it. I'm just. That is the path. Open that path, please, and don't screw up. And the Workers and Resources soundtrack. One in good quality, please. And there we go. Yes, now then, before it's time to sow the fields. That's not a great place. It's a bit too far. Here. Distribution office and gas station has plenty of fuel now. Very good. Have you even refueled yourselves? Yes, you have. Excellent. Then you start bringing fuel out to the farms and to these distribution offices, which will handle getting crops from farms to harbor. Yes. And there, unload fuel, and at this this fire station too, unload fuel, and here, unload fuel. Is that all of them? Yeah, that is assigned, that is assigned, that is assigned. Very good, and that is assigned too. And the harbor we don't need to assign because we have a little pipe underneath the ground here that pumps the fuel into that harbor. Yes. And immediately there is a queue forming of trucks. That's right. You have your work cut out for you, just as these have their work cut out for them. It's going to be great to see this island do all these things. Distribution office down here. Oh, you're finished? I did not get the notification. I probably got the notification. Construction finished, yeah, but I rarely look at these. It's mostly noise. Ah, you're bringing food to Svennemannen from the border, are you? No, very good of you. 16 tons, yeah, that will sustain a town of 25,000 people a very long time. I don't think it is a town of 25,000 people anymore. It's a town of 15,000, 16,000 people now. Okay then. First and foremost, if we do have yet another distribution office to spare to get fuel to this place, and we do. There you go, you get fuel. And now that we want some nice box trucks for this. And could you ever guess which one I'm going for? I'm going for the Scania 124, red ones. Brazilian Scanias again. Oh, Scanias are made in Södertälje. Södertälje is not in Brazil. I think they make Scanias, they build Scanias in Brazil on some sort of licensing thing, or maybe Scania owns the factories, I don't know how it works. But they are not engineered in Brazil. Oh, no, they're not engineered in Södertälje, I'm pretty sure. Also Volkswagen, the goddamn Germans own Scania nowadays. What is that? Let's not talk about it. You need to assign some tasks. Yes, you will be going from here where you load food, the food road cargo station. How much food do they have in here now? They're almost full. Very good. And you bring that to these places. Big warehouse without railway, and you keep it like maximized if you can. Fully topped up, that is, yes, that's what we want. And what would then make sense? I mean, we need something to put food. Yeah, we could say that you're doing this in slightly the backwards fashion or order, but eventually we'll have another food making facility down at the town that is currently starving, and they will bring in the food on the railroad to here about. So we want some sort of storage facility about here. A stock warehouse is maybe a little bit on the small side. I'm thinking, see if we could get something that is somewhere in between. We could have these without. These are not bad, and they're not too overpowered. 600 tons. They don't have a rail thing of their own, but we could have a rail cargo station in the middle, maybe. No, we couldn't, because I want to use the train distribution office to get stuff, and that doesn't seem to work with that. 300 tons, 458 tons of food. You don't have a rail connection. What is all this? Small areas, a small waterfront store. No rail, large open storage. I have a bit much of this here mods. 2-track open storage, small warehouse. Small is not the thing that we want. And something that can take quite a bit of food, and this is a bit overpowered. This is enormous, and there's no way we can fit in either case. Multi-rail opens that. No, that won't work neither. Big warehouse without railway. Big house warehouse with railway. 600 tons. That is like this with a rail connection, isn't it? I think it is. Then if we could have 2 of these. First we fix up the terrain a little bit. Something like that. And then we need a road. Oh, there's a bit of uneven there. Try the terrain smoothing thing, sure. Since I want 2 of these warehouses, turn the snapping off. We sneak the road on the back side here, I was thinking, so that we can later get the road connection for the warehouses on and in here, and have the rail connection going that way. Yes, and now of course I lost warehouse. This one. Missed one. I think that we'll do it this way. There, and then we'll have a mirrored one. There. Yes. And the road. Yes. All good. And now for the railroad then. Oh, the railroad. How do you expect this to work? I expect that we're going to take it off from here. Somehow could make it even easier on yourself by taking it off from the single tracked bit. Actually, we could. Just maybe going to be a little bit of an unnatural curve that we have to do. Oops, have I clicked? How did that happen? If we can get this off here and turn you, do a little bit of a U-turn, double back on itself. We'd want, since these are food trains, they won't be ridiculously long, but now you want the snapping thing on, yes. Too sharp a turn. Come on. Want to come off here? You want to come off here? Yes, of course you want to come off here. Maybe not. I start from this end instead then. Right. So we'll have these. They'll go out. Something like this. And for the, I think that we'll do something like this to get a bit of space for them. You don't have to be so cramped. Yes, that's what we'll do. it up. The citizens' happiness is very low. You don't say. But that's in Svennemannen. Yes, it's not in the Utopia or anywhere else here around. No, it's just sad how the state of affairs down there in Svennemannen, but it is what it is. Semaphore, waypoint in the way. There is no such thing here. No. I will join it up about there. Yes. And then a diamond in a spot which will allow a reasonable length of train, although not going to require a whole lot more than. I mean, the stock train distribution office does not send out longer trains than 150 meters, I don't think. And how much is, say that? For example, that is 145 meters. Yeah, we could have the diamond here somewhere then. Or just to mess with the game a bit, we can try and have it on the curve. Ha! Take that, transport fever. You can't do that. Well, you can maybe, but it is better here actually. Right, and a semaphore there. And start construction of planned infrastructure and get a hold of the rail construction yard office. Quite a bit of traffic here now. I suppose you're doing grain and food related stuffs. Yes, we have the food factory is running at pretty decent percentage, both of them, yes, and crops, we have a bit of crops in the buffer, very good. And you're taking food out of there and you're hopefully putting it into here, aren't you? Yes. Do you have electricity? Yes, you do, but I believe, yeah, that is on the fringes. These won't have electricity from there, so we also need to fix that. First, get constructing on this railroad. It found it on its own. Yes, it did. Great. Yeah, this railroad is not messy at all. How's this doing the tourist train? 105 tourists are transferring in via the train. Take the plane up to Touristy Mountain, to our wonderful resort. 11th of March, are they, you think they have started ploughing the fields out here? Yes, they have. Magnificent and wonderful. Yes, of course, we still need to do some logistical setup for this. Coverall. For dollars, please. We have blue ones this time. There, and you both go and unload at this road cargo station right there, where you unload and you try and keep it as full as it's possible. And you do the same. Load. And then we have the silos where you're going to pick up crops. There, and there. For you. And I think for the farm in the middle here, we'll split it amongst, or use, yeah, we can split it, like say that for that distribution office, and we're done with that one. And we take this one and do also both those silos and that one. And the most southern farm. Well, there we go. And here I'm going to need to cut into this power line, as it turns out, because this... there were a few silos here. Those 2 silos are not covered by the current fire protection that we have for this island. And of course, you can imagine what is going to catch fire, if anything, on this island then. Yes. There you go. I just hope that that it won't mess up too much, since we are in a critical period now. I'll hold off on cutting the power, since we're in a critical period of plowing the fields. Yes. And we don't want them to not be able to refuel the tractors and such right now here in March. I will see how this does. If they manage to plow all the fields and then harvest them all and so on, I'm not sure. We'll get something. Okay, are you doing your work here? The latest distribution office. It would appear so, since no trucks are here, but yes, this is filling up with food. Very good. Or rather, these are filling up with food. That's fantastic, excellent, and so on. You know what would also be quite good? If we could concatenate these into one and the same road cargo stations, which won't be possible if you had them turned this way around. It would have been possible maybe if you had them turned the other way around. Well, it's not too late. Is it worth it? Yeah, I think it might be worth it. Really. It isn't worth it. No, it isn't worth it. But what is worth it is bringing electricity out here, because that is just something that they need. You can't build this building underwater. Okay, can you build it up here then? Or here maybe? Yes, you could. And do we have somewhere to hook this up? No, I don't know. There's a medium voltage connection hookup thing, but where does this come from and where does it go? It goes here, among other things. Does it have enough power for doing what we want? Here's a transformer. That's a much better, safer option to hook it up to. It'll be a slightly longer wire, but that's completely fine. It is so messy as is here. Wait. No, this is not going to require very much electricity. This thing. Going to require like a very small amount. Actually. So we could put in a switch. And then I won't dare use the switch anyway in the future, but still we can put in a switch. Another thing, we also need to expand the meat industry. We also need to expand, actually design the food industry down in Svenneman. So there's plenty of stuff to do here. Plenty of stuff to do. Yeah, that's a start. And that's that. For 233 of the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. Just going to go and have a look down at Svennemannen town and see how badly they are doing. They're doing quite bad. Even though you have 23 people in the town hall, it's not enough to show the stats, because the productivity is So damn terrible. They're all down to like 30%. They have food in the shops now. Yeah, but the productivity of the so-called sellers is so low that it doesn't help. Meanwhile, your purpose for being, you're moving along here, but 30% production percentage. I'm not allowing people to move in until we get this place sorted out. The crime is no good. Neither. I should get them started on the second police station. Yeah, why not? It's not like they have anything else to do. Other than feeling hungry and having a rather miserable time in general. Oh, and yes, this monument that I was wanting to build here, which was buggy and did not... other people seem to have the same problem with this one. So I don't know if I'm going to go against the rule here and actually buy this building. I have brought all the resources and all the workers here once, but I couldn't finish the building. So one could say that I have already built it, even though it didn't finish, it didn't work. And it did sort of kind of like this. I like the looks of it anyway. Don't know if I like it, we'll see. But this is going to be auto-built then. $46 million rubles, 47 million rubles. Fine. It was expensive. Yes, and we have already brought all those materials to it. Come on, let's do this now. I'll fix that up eventually. That little footpath connection. Yes. Thank you so very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at the town of Svennemannen, which is... They shouldn't need to be starving, but now they are so bad at everything, their productivity is so terrible that they will be starving since they can't get the food out. It's free, get in, go grab it from the shelves, it doesn't matter really, but well, such is it. Thank you indeed so very much for watching. Good night.